Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode 2. You know, we've been talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac since Friday, since the news broke that Wendy Asefo and Eddie Asefo were arrested for fraud. So there's been so much coming out. I've been hearing so many of your opinions, seeing the think pieces, seeing people really turn against each other. People that never really liked Wendy are feeling like Giselle is vindicated. Lies you tell.
Lies! The lies!
Please understand, Wendy is wrong. Wendy and Eddie are wrong. But Giselle has been wrong too. Giselle has not been vindicated in the least bit. So stop with those lies. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I'm back in the studio, so I'm in rare form tonight. Oh. All right. So I have a lot to say, and a lot to say about the episode. And the episode, if you had to rate it from 1 to 10, before I tell you how I feel about the episode, how would you rate the episode from 1 to 10? It's only episode 2, but I see a lot of people saying that they're missing Karen Huger. They're missing Karen Huger's confessional. You're missing the energy. Let me tell you something what I've heard from behind the scenes. So were the cast. The cast they felt lost without Karen Huger. Hence why we're talking so much about Karen Huger. That letter you see Giselle writing at the top of the season to Karen. No, she never mailed that letter. I'm kidding. I don't know. But that letter was actually genuine. That letter was Giselle realizing I am lost without my frenemy. So I'm seeing, I'm sorry, Dr. Wendy. I'm not gloating in your downfall like some of your castmates. But if anything, this arrest might save the season, because I think without this arrest, we probably would have been looking at this season like, this wasn't a good season without without Karen. But we shall see, because now we will never know, because they've picked up cameras Friday evening at Ashley's singing event. I still have a lot more to say in regards to Ashley and Ashley coming down on Dr. Wendy. And I know some of you are like, well, Kempire, I don't know Dr. Wendy. I'm covering the story, and based off the allegations, I'm reacting to those allegations. Ashley, of all people, who has been associated with Gullum and pinching staff members' butts allegedly. Wait, we saw one on video, right? And you're so mad at Dr. Wendy for what? Because she called your on again, off again, hookup boyfriend, I don't know what he is, you're mad because she called him Josh Harlow? Because remember, that was the beef that they had at the reunion. And look, there could be so many other things happening behind the scenes. I've already told you, I've heard that, there are a lot of people that do not like Dr. Wendy behind the scenes for whatever reason. However, I feel like Ashley is reaching in regards to her, very much like how Kay is reaching to have an issue with Wendy. I feel like Ashley is reaching to have an issue with Wendy. She's reaching because your issue with Wendy was what? The fact that she called that man, that boy, Josh Harlow? Because you remember, that's what led to their little, she's like, you called him that? He did not like that. And I was like, what in the Karen? It wasn't that big of a deal. If anything, you should be happy she compared him to Jack Harlow, a white boy with some rhythm and with a little flavor. You should be happy about that because there are plenty of other whack ones that she could have compared him to. It wasn't a diss. It wasn't a diss. I don't think it was necessarily the biggest compliment, but it wasn't like a diss. I'm like, girl, you want to call him Jack Harlow? Call him Jack Harlow. I'd much rather you call him that than something else. I'd much rather you call him that than Drake. Oh, damn, Drake. Damn. Poor Drake. Catching strays. It's your own fault, Drake. Corny. This ain't about Drake. Where am I even going right now with this? I just have a lot of thoughts based off of this whole Wendy thing. And look, I am not defending Wendy because we will continue as we follow this case. I blame Miss Esquire. Miss Esquire came in as a defense attorney and kind of convinced us, like, well, you're right. These are allegations. Let's see what Dr. Wendy has to say. But the facts are damning. The facts are damning. But anyway, I just found it interesting. For those that may have missed it, I did a video where Ashley had a singing event. And it's not like that's why I say you can never trust Ashley. Because it's not like she was sort of, at least gave Wendy grace in regards to it and just was like, yeah, we've heard things. We never believed. She was like, oh, I'm creating melodies and she's catching felonies. Girl, you are not creating melodies. Those are not melodies. That flat scene that you're doing. Look, I understand Countess Luann has allowed these housewives to think that they can tour and become singers when they sound horrible. But at least Countess Luann is probably very interesting in person. That's what I hear. I ain't paying to go listen to Countess Luann. Let's stop normalizing these people that can't sing, because you know what they're doing? They're making it harder for people that actually can sing book shows. They are. Because y'all celebrating people that can't sing. But if you want to go and support, that's your coins in this economy. Okay. But I say this because I have a clip to show you. And this is why I'm like, what was the issue between Ashley and Wendy for Ashley to take such a dig? They were just here in Brooklyn when I wasn't even in New York for Culture Con. And look how Dr. Wendy was uplifting both Giselle and Ashley. Take a look at this clip.
The fact that Giselle has 3 daughters in college, that's positive Black news.
Let me rewind that
back.
back.
That Giselle has 3 daughters in college, that's positive Black news.
Amen.
Hello,
Amen.
HBCUs, can we talk about the fact that my daughter just did a Gabby's Dollhouse commercial, Little Melanated Princess, she did that commercial. And Ashley, what you got?
Everything. My life is going amazingly. I'm going to be performing at Studio 54 here in New York in a couple of weeks. Very excited for that.
Wendy shouted me out, but season 10, like we made it to season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. When people
So all was good in the hood. All was good in the hood. Again, I'd never known for Ashley and Wendy to have any sort of deep issues, at least not in the last season. Yes, they had that little back and forth during the reunion, which I felt like was a reach. I was like, girl, you're that mad at Wendy because she called your on again, off again, hookup F-boy Josh Harlow? You're mad about that? Girl, she will stand beside any man against a woman. She's very male-centered. All right. Singer says she still can't sing. But you know what? That date that she has at Studio 54 probably is a date that someone that actually has talent. Because remember, I book shows. And when I book shows, there's always sort of a back and forth with promoters. Is this date available? Is this date available? Da, da, da. they will book Ashley over someone that can actually sing Ashley under the table. So this is what I'm talking about. Let's stop normalizing talentless, starless people like Ashley. She's having a show at Studio 54. You know how many actually talented singers are here in New York City they would love to have a show at Studio 54, but they can't even get booked. Like we can't get booked at Chicago City Winery. Not me throwing myself under the bus. Oh, woo, woo, woo. That's the state of this business. That's the state of this business. So I say all that because CultureCon was last weekend here in New York City? And all was good in the hood. And you see how they switched up on her? You see how they switched up? Well, okay. Giselle hasn't said anything, but Giselle was at the event where Ashley was saying, we're creating melodies and not catching felonies. But look, here's the thing, Dr. Wendy. I know I'm defending you a little bit, but you gave them the fodder to run with. Because you knew that none of these women were your friends. You knew this already. You knew that. You know Giselle's not your friend. You know the only reason why Giselle was being nice to you and you guys are playing nice this season and last season is because Giselle wants to keep her job. Come on, let's be honest. Oh, Funky says, Kempire, it's a comedy show, not a singing showcase for not a singing showcase for Ashley. Trust, we will be laughing. Ain't nobody going to pay. I'm not going to pay. I'm not normalizing things like that. N1 says, free Wendy. Oh, Lord. She is free. She's at home. Remember, we covered. She's at home with her family. She's at home with her family. We're going to continue to follow this story. There's still more coming out, including Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen is breaking his silence. I got lots to say today. Let's take a listen to what Andy Cohen had to say. We're playing this under fair use, so I'm going to have to stop and go. Andy Cohen broke his silence on Wendy Asefo and Eddie Asefo's arrest. Sidebar. There's a lot of speculation on whose idea this could have been. And I see a lot of people blaming Dr. Wendy, saying that, oh, I think it was Dr. Wendy who was behind this, treachery and insurance fraud. First of all, I don't know why we always jump and assume that it's the woman. Y'all can have your think pieces on why y'all always jump and think it's the woman. Secondly, I don't care who was the mastermind behind whatever fraud scheme this was. You are two grown adults. If I'm in a relationship with someone and my partner, can you imagine a billionaire coming to me and saying something like that? I'd be like, are you okay, sir? That you are both grown adults. You should be able to check Eddie and be like, no, we're not doing that. Or Eddie should be like, no, girl, we're not doing that. They're two grown adults. I don't care who was the individual. I mean, Eddie does have the more charges, though. 2 more charges than anyone else. But that doesn't mean anything. That could just mean he did the work in regards to, he did a little bit more as opposed to Dr. Wendy. Doja said it's misogyny. I assumed it's a misogyny. Okay. All right. So Andy Cohen on his radio program addressed Wendy's charges. So let's take a listen to what Andy had to say.
I want to say that, like all of you, I found out about the charges against Wendy and Eddie Asefo on Friday morning, and there's not much that I can say. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do, than what I've read. I'm sad about this. I'm really sad about this. And, Wendy is just, I'm a Wendy fan. And
So for those that wonder why Wendy is still on this show, look, like I've said, I've never really been a big fan of Wendy. But I did say last season actually was a great season for her. She was like the narrator of the season, the level-headed one. She was having the most fun last season. But to hear Andy Cohen say that he's a fan of Wendy, I was like, oh, Wendy's job is secure over there.
Has been a great housewife and a great role model for she's always led with education and her solid family values. And so that's what, I'm really thinking about her and her family. And I'm certainly hoping that this is all some big, nothing. And by the way, last night's Watch What Happens Live, we had taped that before I went to LA. So that is why you did not hear me asking Ashley her thoughts on that.
And here's the thing. I'm glad that it was already filmed before, because you already know Ashley would have been running with the same, I'm over here creating melodies and she's catching. That's all it would have been. It wouldn't have been anything of depth. It wouldn't have been like, oh, but I'm praying for her. Don't pray for me, devil. That's what Stacey called her in this week's episode. So I'll just repeat what Stacey said. Don't pray for me. Don't pray for me. I saw so many people in the comment section reacting to Andy, saying like, see, look how this guy is giving her grace. This white man is giving her grace while all these black people, black women are taking Wendy down. This is Andy. Y'all want to give Andy credit for saying what a lot of executives in his position are going to say in this instance. You think Andy Cohen's going to take a dig at Wendy SFO? You think Andy Cohen's going to throw her under the bus? No, he has his puppets do that. Did you guys forget the reality TV reckoning? Did you forget what they accused him of what they do on Watch What Happens Live? The type of behavior that's encouraged from other housewives to come at other housewives and take digs at each other? He's the puppeteer. So while he could be safe and say, I always respected her and she's a fantastic person, but then on his show, he will encourage them to make fun of people's breath, like Stacey's. And look, some people say the audience is being too sensitive about the Stacey breath thing, and some people think like they're going too low. Didn't they talk about Lisa Vanderpump's breath? I don't remember them ever playing a game about her breath or focusing on that an entire few episodes. Just saying. So while you guys are praising Andy for being so gracious in his statement about the housewife, I didn't expect him to be but gracious. Yes, he has his shady moments on Watch What Happens Live, but he's going to utilize the other housewives to make these shady comments and weaponize that. He's not innocent. He's the mastermind behind this energy that you see with the housewives. So he gets no credit from me. No. Gets no credit from me. So that's what Andy Cohen had to say about Dr. Wendy Asefo's arrest. He said a lot of, what people have said. Like, she always presented as a woman of virtue and education, and she led with that. So for her to do something like this is quite interesting and hypocritical, a lot of people will say. We will wait to see how this will all play out within the court system and whether or not, people are speculating whether or not she will show up at the reunion. Well, what we're seeing from these allegations that they're in extreme debt. I don't think Wendy can afford not to continue promoting the show, being on the show. I don't know if she's supposed to be on Watch What Happens Live next week. I don't think she will be. I think it's a little too soon. But I don't see her leaving the show. This is her biggest paycheck. I don't know if I believe anything what they're saying when it comes to Happy Eddie and how that business is doing. And especially with these types of charges, I don't know how this will affect that business. But she needs this check. So I don't see Wendy going anywhere. And it seems like she has a good relationship with Andy Cohen. I can see her securing her spot at least, especially with this drama, at least for the next couple of seasons. So I'm really interested to see what direction Wendy's going to take with this case, both legally and also how she's going to navigate this on this show. Because you see how these women are. Right now, their focus is on Stacey. When they start picking up cameras for reunion next season, their focus is going to be on Wendy, asking Wendy all the questions. And it will be interesting to see what Wendy decides to do, take a plea, fight the case. I don't know. It's really going to be an interesting next couple of months. But we shall see. And I know people are now watching the new season. She won't be on the first episode of White Swap, which was supposed to come out tomorrow. It's not coming out tomorrow. She was supposed to be the first episode. They've scrapped her episode, probably to her benefit, because again, the allegations that some of the items in her home that she claimed that were stolen from her home were found in her home. 15 of those items that she claimed were stolen were found in her home. So I don't know if that was just I don't know if it was just Bravo trying to cover themselves in regards to like, okay, this is a bad situation. We don't want to be connected to anyone that's, with fraud. It could be that, or it could be like, we don't know what was shown in this particular episode, which is interesting because this week's episode, we are in Wet Dr. Wendy's home. And if you look at the map, look, we've already always talked about that Wendy lives, Giselle talks about how Wendy lives super far from the rest of the women. But all of these women live super far. The only people that actually live in Potomac is Karen at this point on the current cast. Giselle lives close to Potomac. She's in Bethesda. Kay is over there in Baltimore having big fun in Baltimore. Angel she's not far from Potomac either, but Angel just moved back to hometown and she's looking for a place in Potomac. Angel's home over there in Colorado was gorgeous. I don't know if she's going to be able to find that type of property with the amount of acreage that they're looking for in Maryland. But I don't know Maryland real estate, but I don't know if they're going to get this for the same price. I think we have a new not house husband, but a new housewife's husband that might be one of the sexiest. Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Every time I say Bobby. The Real Housewives of Merlin. That's what it is, basically. Yeah, because none of them live in Potomac at this particular point. I don't really care, to be honest with you, because it doesn't seem to be hurting the show. Okay. Jay Bellamy says Angel's husband's fine. Right? They're a beautiful couple, too. Like, together. Like, let's not take away from Angel. I like Angel's vibe. Do we know her astrological sign? Because, that's what we talk about. I want to know Angel's astrological sign, and I want to know Tia's. I like them so far. It's only episode 2, though. It's only episode 2. I'm not getting invested too soon into anyone. But so far, I kind of like Angel's vibe. She seems like not one to be messed with. Kind of like her. And Tia is real uppity. Tia, you're so uppity, but then we came to your house and I was like, anyone else? Look, and I'm not one of those housewives reviewers or fans that want all the housewives to have money. And she talked about how she grew up. It just feels like I expected a little bit more from the home, especially because she also, sells property for Sotheby's. So I was sort of expecting a little bit more. Ooh, Jay said Angel. Wait, okay. Tia's an Aquarius. Okay, I can see Aquarius. Angel's a Pisces. Ooh. Can we confirm? How do you know this? Is she really a Pisces? There's a lot of housewives that are Pisces. Is she really a Pisces? I mean, I do like a Pisces woman. You guys know I do like a Pisces woman. It's the men that are a little shaky. Mr. Whistledale says, don't do Pisces. It's the women. It's the women. Kalam says, thank you for being a member, Kalam. Kalam says, yes, Kemp. I said you had RRS in the driveway growing up, but this is your house. Goodbye. I'm not saying goodbye because I still like what I'm seeing from Tia. I like her humor so far, and I look forward to mocking her British accent. I'm working on it. All the Brits don't come for me yet. I'm working on it. But I think she definitely lived the lifestyle. And it seems like she still has that sort of mentality because she's like, her husband's the nanny. I am jumping all around. I need to get in order. There's a lot of thoughts. There are a lot of thoughts, and I've been traveling all day. There are a lot of thoughts that I've been traveling all day, and here I am. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it. But thank you to Delta. Thank you to the TSA, because I know they're working right now without being paid. Everything was on time. I arrived early in New York. I came home, relaxed a little bit, took care of some stuff. I didn't unpack yet, but I said, okay, let's do the live today because I got things to do this week too. Exactly, Rita. British humor is probably my favorite. So that's probably why I'm vibing with Tia. I'm just not vibing with Tia's home. Sorry, Tia. Tia, do not, please understand my comments on your home doesn't mean you need to change a thing. That's how you live. That's fine. Because then housewives and everyone talking about, their homes and stuff, then they feel they need to front and plot and scheme and do insurance fraud. We don't need you to do that at all. I just, the way that you talked about being a princess and the way that you grew up, and I was expecting maybe a home like Angel's. And dare I say, Kay's condo, the condo is fly. Anyone else like the condo? I was like, oh, okay, Kay. I mean, you're in Baltimore having big fun in Baltimore, but it's a beautiful apartment. Then you have the nice, beautiful outside balcony. I was like, yes, Kay. Keiarna, beautiful gown, steward. That's what I'm gonna call it, because it's everything else about Keiarna, not the personality. It's about the beauty. It's about the outfits. It's about the gowns. It's about the house. But everything else. Dina says we only saw a corner of her home, and that was enough. I felt like the corner that we saw was the home. It felt a little cramped. Okay, stop. But like I said, for me, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a storyline in sight. You don't have to have all the money in the world. You don't have to have the biggest home. If you have a big personality, which Tia has so far, from what I can see, and she has that British humor, I'm here for it. So, Tia, don't feel like you need to front, rob, steal, kill, to do anything, okay? Layla says, Kay has taste. She does. I loved her home. Even the way that it was decorated. Kay Saunders says, love the condo. I'm glad they gave us a whole view, because I love to look at property. I was like, oh, okay, Keiarna, I see you. See, we're starting off with good things, Keiarna. Doja says, Kay looks good on the surface. She's probably a lovely person, too. Maybe. I don't know. I have things to say. Let me start from the beginning. So if you're just joining us, guys, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 2 of season 10. Okay. So at the very top of the episode, we start where we finished last week, and that is Ashley confronting Stacey about her lies. So Ashley says that Stacey misrepresented herself. And here's the thing. Do I believe that Stacey lies? Yes. I sense that Stacey was a liar from when we interviewed her on stage in DC. I was just like, She was giving very politician. If you go back, I'm looking at her, I'm like, in my head, I'm not believing anything that she's saying. I'm really not. So it was interesting to me after that, all of her lies were coming out. Okay. So Ashley says that Stacey misrepresented herself. Stacey says that Ashley is the devil. I'm glad you see it. Honestly, based on how Ashley's moving lately, it definitely gives me that vibe, like someone not to be trusted. I'm glad that Stacey's best friend and hairstylist, AJ, was there to have her back, because especially with, it feels like everyone is against her. Even though Ashley says that Wendy and Stacey sort of form a friendship this season, and we kind of see that beginning in this week's episode. I'm glad for that, because nobody likes a gang up. We're seeing that on Real Housewives of Orange County. But AJ comes to Stacey's defense. She's like, so what exactly do you want? What do you need, Ashley? So Ashley says that Stacey has magically gotten back with her ex-husband. And I told you last week that it felt like it was a pylon. First, it was about TJ and the lawsuit and whether or not she paid him. And dare I say, I agreed with a lot of what Jeff Lewis said on Watch What Happens Live last night. I didn't agree with everything, but a good majority, some of his assessments when it comes to Potomac, I was like, I agree. And he said, so what if she paid him? Like, I don't believe that she paid him 50% of her check. And Ashley's like, well, in the lawsuit, he actually said how much she made. And, that's like insider information. Well, she did claim that they were dating. So why wouldn't your friend or your partner, your boyfriend, not know how much you're making? That doesn't say to me that they had some sort of agreement to give 50%. I don't see her saying, I'll give you 50% of my check. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that, like Jeff said, that would be a dumb move. That would be a dumb move. But you look. So AJ tries to help Stacey. Ashley says that Stacey magically has gotten back with her ex-husband. I'm trying to give Stacey some grace here. I don't know if I believe anything coming out of Stacey's mouth. I'll be honest with you. However, it's not unbelievable that after being with someone for almost 20 years, and you get divorced and you're still co-parenting and you're going through what you're going through, you're in this next chapter of life. It's not illogical to me that maybe you guys would want to rekindle something, especially after seeing them together. I was sort of like, it looks like he's still very much in love with her. I don't know if she's in love with him. They had more chemistry than her and TJ, if I want to be honest. But again, they were together for nearly 20 years and they have a daughter together. Deborah says they all lie. That's the thing too. All of them trying to act all holier than thou. Every single one of you, now even including Wendy, are liars.
Lies! The lie!
All of you have lied now. Like before I'd be like, well, no, Wendy's been pretty honest. Now all of you have lied. Every single one of you, but you guys want to act holier than thou. And when asked about on Watch What Happens Live, Ashley was asked by an audience member whether Stacey or Mia, who was the biggest liar. Ashley says Stacey. And the way she tries to describe it, like, Stacey's lies are like diabolical. She didn't say it like that. She doesn't use big words. She's like, Stacey's lies are like diabolical. Over Mia's? Mia weaponizing G's mental health? Is she with the short man? Is she not with the short man? Like, really? But again, I think Ashley is so focused on Stacey and just coming for Stacey because I think that's what they're going to do the entire season. You're going to see Ashley and Giselle producing overtime this season. So if you think this is just the beginning, I mean, if you think that it's going to move, that they're going to move on, no. It's just the beginning. It is just the beginning of what they're going to be doing the entire season. Depending on, people are speculating that they're going to scrap half of the season and get into the Wendy of it all. I don't think so, but they probably making some edits to that mid-season trailer right now. Oxzilla says we need Karen to keep them both in check. Please understand, Karen will make a grand return next season, and everybody on that cast is going to be happy about it, if we're going to be honest. Everyone in the cast is going to be happy about it. Gary says, I need Mia to make an appearance next season to provide shade and commentary on this Wendy stuff. She would have been hilarious. No, we don't need that. Look, we don't need it. We don't need more people harping on Wendy. This cast alone is going to do it. This cast alone is going to do it. Look, thank you, Bree. Bree says, Kempire, you called it last season that they're going to come for Stacey this year. Because she was a fan favorite last season. We called her the Palo Santo of the season. She became a fan favorite. And they were waiting to catch her in something. And the minute they got something, now they're harping on it. They're harping on it. What exactly is Giselle's storyline? What exactly is Ashley's storyline? And I say this often. You don't have to have a storyline if you're an interesting person. They're not that interesting. Giselle makes me laugh here and there, but you're not that interesting on your own. Especially when you feel like that's what you need to do, is to dig up other people's stuff and use that against them. So Ashley then says, as she walks away from, because AJ is sort of like what exactly do you need from Stacey right now? Ashley's like, it's the principle that's important to me. Ashley Darby, you were married to the overseer, Gullum. There are so many things that we could say about Gullum and that relationship and what played out over the years. You do not have anywhere to talk about principle. Okay? Please save us on that. You have no principle. Okay? I think that's what's frustrating with the audience. It's no matter if you like Ashley or you like Giselle. It's more like you guys are sitting here acting like y'all all haven't been liars, and now you guys are harping on one person after and picking in everything. You're picking up on is she back with her ex? Did she lie about TJ? Her breath stinks, and then it's this, and then it's that, and blah 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 blah. Okay. All right. So we go to the next scene where Wendy. Oh well, not the next scene. They're still at this party. So Wendy and Keiarna are still having their conversation, and Wendy says that she didn't know that whether or not she was going to be at the NAACP event because her kids were sick. So Keiarna says that she doesn't like to be gaslit by Wendy, and that she feels like Wendy can be dismissive. That's something that we've heard about Wendy before from other people. People feel like Wendy can be dismissive. People also, are we still harping on the 4 degrees from Wendy's first season? Or are there other things in recent seasons that, or it's just the aura that Wendy has where she feels like she's, better than the rest of them? I felt like that started with the 4 degrees and it just never, and people just kept with that energy. Like anything that she said or did, people just viewed it as her being snobby and looking down at everybody else. I feel like that's Housewives. There's so many Housewives that are like that. But okay. So they have their back and forth. Keiarna and Wendy have their back and forth in regards to this. They don't really get anywhere. They don't get anywhere because I don't understand where Keiarna is coming from. Because the examples that she's using felt a bit much. And I'm still trying to understand how this event looked, because she said that Wendy was on stage, but I'm wondering, was Wendy on stage on like a panel with people? And that's what Keiarna was looking for her to be like, oh, hey, or something like, it feels like a reach. It feels like a reach to me, Keiarna. Unless you give us more examples, if it feels like a reach. But okay. So Ashley claims that Keiarna told her that Stacey said that she was never going to break character, that this persona that Stacey has given us. And a lot of people have said this too. People have said this from last season, that they feel like Stacey is not who she says she is. I can see that. She is a journalist. She was on QVC. They have strict rules on how you present yourself as well. So I'm not surprised that she is sort of this person. But at the same time, I wouldn't, like, I don't think there's anything you could tell me about Stacey that would necessarily shock me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, like, there's nothing that's been said about Stacey so far that has really like shocked me. Like, I'm like, yeah, I already know that Stacey's not innocent. She's a grown adult that doesn't necessarily share everything about herself, but she's still getting you girls together. She's still not letting you guys make her see her sweat. I can appreciate that. I said that last season. Remember when they were trying to haze her and put her in the bunk beds with Keiarna? That's probably when Keiarna confessed to Stacey, like, I've been trying to get on this show for forever. I'm desperate to be on this show. I really want to be on the show. That's probably when she confessed to Stacey, when they were in the bunk bedroom. But you remember when Stacey came in, they were trying to haze her with that. And Stacey was like, I've always wanted to be in a bunk bed. This is so amazing. So when y'all come at her with her breath stink, she's like, does my breath stink today? She's not letting you guys see her sweat. That's because she is a professional. I feel like, look, some people, I had posted that Keiarna's taking a lot of L's and it's only episode 2. And someone said on X, hey X, someone said on X, like, and so has Stacey. Stacey has not taken any L's. Yes, they're bringing up all these possible lies, but Stacey is like Wonder Woman. She's like, doom, 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 doom. Like, for me, it hasn't stuck. And this is coming from someone that interviewed Stacey. We were following each other. Someone thought that she blocked me. No, she didn't block me. She just unfollowed me because I put out the tea that what happened at the reunion. So she unfollowed me, so I unfollowed her back. But Stacey, I know you still watch, girl. You see, it doesn't matter. My opinion of you is not going to change. My opinion of you is going to be based on the show. Do I think that you might be lying about a thing or two? Yeah, but all of them do. You are right at home. You are right at home, okay? Stacey, girl, you are right at home. I love this moment. Stacey is a fool. Corny fool, but I am here for it. I'm here for this corny fool. Okay. All right. Geneva says Stacey's not relatable. I 100% agree. And that's what makes her a great housewife. Not all housewives are relatable. There are certain positions where you need to be relatable. This is not one. This is not a position for you to be relatable. A lot of these fans do not want to be able to relate to the housewives. That's not it. Casey says that I find Stacey very entertaining and funny. She is. She is quirky. I forgot who said it. I think it was Karen who said that she's sort of like a mix of Mary Cosby and someone else. And, you know, a lot of people think she looks like, or at least related to Kenya Moore. She's handling herself very, very well. Okay. I wonder if we will see an alliance between Wendy and Stacey, especially when it comes to this reunion. And there going to be Wendy will be in the hot seat. Do you think that Karen will be at the reunion? I think she should be because she missed the last reunion. I think now this would be an epic reunion though. Can you imagine this reunion? Say if Wendy does attend, Wendy addressing her legal issues, Karen addressing everything that she didn't address last season, addressing the video footage. But let me tell you something about Karen, which I'm sure Stacey can respect too, or Karen can respect in Stacey. It's hard to see Karen sweat. I think especially now she's had a lot of time to prepare for how she's going to handle this or what the next move is going to be. I think they need to. This is going to be a blockbuster reunion if they could get Wendy and Karen to be at that reunion because there's so much to unhash from Wendy's stuff to Wendy and Karen's relationship to Karen's arrest, the 4th DUI, the time in prison. There's just so much. They might as well scrap the season. They probably should have waited for Karen to come out. They probably should have waited. But they didn't know. They didn't know when Karen was going to come out. All right. Guys, we got 2,000 plus people and 300 something people watching on X. Hey, y'all, don't forget to share. Don't forget to follow. And if you are here in the live chat, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. And if you're listening, and don't forget you can listen to the Kempire podcast. We have our live recaps there as well, and special exclusive episodes and our Club Kempire. So if you want to hear a little bit more about my trip, I did post a Club Kempire episode last week, so you can take a listen to that. You can also hear our live from Philly Kempire After Dark show there as well. You can get a free 3-day trial on anywhere that you get Apple Podcasts. You can get it from the website if you don't have an Apple product as well. Nina says that Ashley has no storyline per usual, and she's found Stacey to pick on. And she's working overtime doing it. All right, let me get to some of these super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. I definitely appreciate your support, especially after this trip. You know, Kempire was spending all kinds of money, eating out all the time, buying gifts and stuff. All right. Thank you so much, Queen T, for the super chat. Queen T says, Wendy, Karen are wrong, and the Green Eye Bandit isn't without her own faults. Ashley, stop the BS. Exactly. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat. There's going to be dinner tonight. Kendra says, now, Kempire, let's not call what Ashley does singing. That's hopping and hollering at its finest. Ashley, are you okay? Production, remove her singing, please. I'm telling you right now, if they play any of the singing stuff, I'm fast forwarding those parts. You know, normally I never fast forward, but I'm fast forwarding because I already know what it's going to sound like. Gary, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Gary says, I think Wendy deserves the jabs she's getting from Bravo Labs. If Ashley or Giselle got arrested for fraud, I doubt we'd be calling for grace. Well, here's the thing. I believe that Wendy would give them grace. Some people were trying to act like Wendy did not give Karen Huger grace. I believe that Wendy gave Karen more grace than anyone on this cast. And I still believe if any of these other people were arrested for fraud, I don't think that Wendy would react the way that they're reacting. I really don't. Queen T, thank you so much for another super chat. Queen T says, I'd rather sit and drink with Karen before listening to Ashley and her mellow die. Her mellow dies. And hide my your files around Wendy. Fell in like the 45 she talk about. Ooh, damn, y'all cold blooded. Gary, thank you so much for another super chat. Gary, my Labubu clothes came today. I don't think Wendy's job is in jeopardy, but I don't see her pride letting her return. This changes the whole persona and narratives that she's created. I don't see her leaving. You want to bet money? No. Look, I don't see her leaving. I think she needs this check, especially right now. Even if she pleads out this case, takes a plea deal, she probably will have money to pay back. She needs this job. This is probably the biggest paying job. I think even more than the weed business, to be honest. Nicole, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Nicole says, Ashley's little settlement has gone to her head. She ain't getting nothing. Y'all believe in that crazy storyline? I told you that's not real. Bottle Girl needs to redo her backyard and her stank attitude. Keith, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Keith says, Ashley knows everyone's business, but didn't know her man was sending photos of his chewed up gummy worm to men on Grindr. Find a new plot, babe. Damn. I forgot about that story. That happened in the early seasons. Gary says, I'll bet you a Labubu. Which one? A small one? Look, a small one. Okay. Look, a small one. All right. Let's move on because I have a lot more to talk about when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode. We are live here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. Shout out to our Twitch fam. I hear the audio and video quality on Twitch is amazing, guys. So be sure to check that out and follow us there. We will be doing exclusive live streams there as well. Twitch.tv/TheKempire. Mods, if we can post a link in the chat. I'm not sure if YouTube will allow it, but let me know. Okay. So Wendy and Kay had their conversation. Didn't get to anywhere. Ashley claims that Keiarna told her that Stacey is not going to break character ever. Kay tells Stacey that, because they start getting heated, and she's like, "Oh, I know, you always seem like you want to fight." And Kay was like, "Oh, I can fight," because she's from Baltimore. And then she's like, Stacey's like, "I know, I've seen it," because you remember the incident with that woman, Ashley's friend. Okay, Stacey says that she's being unjustly beat down, and I think that the fans are seeing that as well. And even if they don't necessarily love Stacey, the fans do not like seeing where all the women are ganging up on one person. And it seems like they're grasping for straws when it comes to reasons to be upset with Stacey and making this first 2 episodes all about Stacey. So randomly in between the scene, we see Giselle run over to Cookie, Karen's best friend. And she tries to get an update on Karen. She's like, we want to plan something for Karen's birthday. And Cookie gives an update in regards to Ray. She's like, Ray's okay, he's okay. He's out there golfing. Ray probably was mad as hell when Karen came back out. He's like, I gotta go back to being her chauffeur. Just saying. So that was our first inclination of Cookie. My DMV sources have informed me that Cookie, she's been a woman about town. People know Cookie in the DMV area. The DMV area is not that big. Even though it's big, it's not that big. A lot of people know people. All right? Right, Cookie? Thanks for watching, Cookie. Mm-hmm. Cookie also had a lot to say this week. Apparently, she don't like Wendy either because she was under NECA's post. All the rejects united. NECA, well, not NECA. I'm going to give NECA grace because NECA just posted a beautiful photo of herself on vacation. Cookie was under the comment section. We had Sweet Tea in the comment section with a paragraph. We had 8.5 under there. We had Dr. Alicia from Married to Medicine under, all taking shots at Wendy. And look, I don't know what Wendy may have said or done to them, but it was clear that these people did not like Wendy. And I said this in my video, NECA, and I heard you didn't like what I had to say, but girl, you want to be strong. I know it's a hard truth to understand that Dr. Wendy wasn't the only reason why you didn't come back. Because now, look, the Bravo universe, you're seeing all these think pieces. Bring NECA back. Please understand, if Bravo saw value in NECA on the show, other than the whole Wendy of it all, they would have brought her back. The network decided, like, yeah, she wasn't a great fit. NECA, it's okay, girl. I feel like if you're not good for reality television, that means you're normal. Embrace it. Look, embrace it. Anyway, let's move on. So Giselle meets up with Cookie. I feel like they're going to bring up Karen throughout the season because they all miss Karen, very much like how you guys miss Karen. Okay. So back to Stacey. So Stacey claims that, so they talk, Wendy is introduced to Tia, and Tia, reveals, like, I'm Nigerian. And that's the other thing. So Tia is British, but she's Nigerian. And I like Nigerian humor, and I also like British humor. So the combination, I feel like she's going to make us laugh a lot. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm not falling in love yet, Tia. Calm down. So she, Wendy gives her a high five. Some of y'all read into that and like, oh, so you saw when that was said, you saw Wendy's face. Y'all love to read into an edited show a lot. She gave her a high five. Let's just read into the high five like, okay, they're showing support to each other. So Stacey's like, I don't know if I told you guys, I'm Nigerian too. Me too, Stacey. Me too. I'm Nigerian too. I am. I did my 23andMe. Hello, Jamaican. A lot of y'all are Nigerian. I think I'm like, hold on. Let me Google it. Please hold. I'm Nigerian too. So is Portia. All of us. Look. Come on. We're all Nigerian. And don't try and deny us. Y'all want to try and deny us. Nope. Look. I am Nigerian. Let me see how much percentage Nigerian I am. Please hold. Let me see what my Nigerian roots are. Let me see what they say. Hold on. I never go into this thing and I can't even remember. I got a bunch of cousins trying to. They saw me on the internets. Oop! I froze. I ain't used to this. I still ain't changed this thing, y'all. If y'all know, y'all know. I still look. This week I'm gonna change that wire. Okay. Miss Bell says I'm 43% Nigerian. Okay, girl. Let me see what my percentage is. Please hold. I mean, African slave trade, y'all. It's a thing. Oh, okay. West African, 58.8%. Nigerian of the Igbo people. Okay, Igbo people. Sorry. 35.3% Nigerian. Shout out to my Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean, 20.3%. Okay. And I got some more. Look, I got some more in here too. I'm not gonna tell you my European percentage, but I'm not as European as Robin. Regular Rob. I'm not that European. But look, slave trade. Okay, you're not gonna know my Asian one either. Oh, Doja says I look Igbo. Oh, okay, Igbo. Okay. Do I? Look, do I? What's the look? What's the look? Anyway. So shout out to our cousins. Shout out to Wendy. Shout out to Stacey. Shout out to Tia, Nigerian. Okay. Natasha said 32% Nigerian. She's 32%. How much did I say? I was 35%. 35% Nigerian over here. I'm coming to Ghana too. I got 20%. Okay. See, Keith says you and Wendy may be related. You better stand up for your family, period. Oh, shut up. Oh, why you say that, Ashley? Ashley says Kempire being Igbo, right? Am I pronouncing it incorrectly? Makes so much sense. You look it up. Makes sense. Look it up. Really? All right. Miss Bell says, I'm 22% European. Mine didn't show a tribe from Nigeria, which is strange. Oh, that's interesting. It's always updating, though. It's always updating. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyways. Guys, let's get back into it. Ibu, thank you so much. I know I was saying it incorrectly. Ebo, right? Ebo. Thank you. Ebo. I'm part of the tribe. Come on now. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. You know, the G is silent. Thank you so much, D. The G is silent. It's pronounced Ebo. 35% Nigerian. Okay. All right. Let's focus. So when asked about this in her confessional, Wendy is just like, she's like, next comment. And then she laughs. I do like her. I think her laugh is hilarious. I need to save it in the soundboard because I think her laugh is better than this one. I like Wendy's laugh. So Ashley then has a special performer come out. I don't get what this was. Ashley likes to be a freak. All the ladies were like, what the hell is going on here? Wendy's looking down. She's like, I see puss. I'm like, I don't like, I don't know what's, So that's how her event ends. All right, let's get to Wendy's home that's far away. So Stacey takes an Uber all the way from Washington, D.C., or Virginia. I don't know where she was coming from, to North Maryland, right? North Maryland, to go see Wendy. Anyone else, when we get to Wendy's house, looking around like, I mean, you could look around all you want. Apparently, the burglary happened in the bedroom. The only place that was ransacked, allegedly. I don't know. I can't tell you guys, okay? I don't know what happened there. It just sounds very suspicious, right? So Stacey goes over Wendy's home. So neither one of them know how to open this damn bottle of champagne. As someone that doesn't drink, neither do I. But you guys drink, and neither one of you know how to open a bottle of champagne? Okay. So Stacey rehashes a conversation that she had with Ashley. Remember when they went to the dress store, and she was bringing up all of these receipts. So Stacey tells Wendy that she's now back with her husband. So Wendy's like, you're back with the husband? She's like, what? So she's like, you're doing like a complete 180. You're doing a complete 180, and that is what's confusing to people. I mean, I don't think it's that confusing, though. I can understand people being like, wait, huh? Like, wait, what? I can understand people's reaction to be that. But to the point where you're like, you don't believe Stacey, it's like, it's not impossible to believe that after divorcing someone that you can get reconnected. It happens all the time. I'm not saying it's the norm, but it happens all the time. But okay. So they talk about her, about Ashley and these receipts. They talk about her rekindling her relationship with her ex-husband. Stacey reveals that she's working on this weed line. So this is where we find out some tea. So Wendy's like, so Giselle was right. And she's like, no, when Giselle mentioned it, I was exploring various different plans and ideas and things like that. We have to keep in mind, this is sort of the shtick on Real Housewives and Real Housewives of Potomac. We had this moment between Karen and Wendy before with the candles. So the whole weed thing, in reality, who cares? There are multiple weed businesses. Who cares? But I could also understand if something's not signed on the dotted line, you're not going to say on national television, well, yeah, I'm working on a weed line. But according to Wendy says that people in the industry were saying that Stacey was looking to create her own Happy Eddie. My thing is, like, what are you getting at with that, Wendy? Are you trying to say that she was trying to copy your business? She probably was saying very much like what they're doing, you know, creating their own sort of strain. I don't think she wants to like steal your idea. So I just felt like that was not necessary, but I like how Wendy handled. She's like, girl, there's room for all of us. I wish you nothing but success with your business. I just don't. It doesn't necessarily. It doesn't make sense to me that Stacey should get into that business. I can understand Eddie getting into that business and him naming it what he named it, connected to what happened in the previous season. I could see him doing that. I just don't see that for Stacey. When Stacey came up on stage during our DC show, sold out DC show last year, right? Last year or early? Yeah, last year. Right? Yeah, last year. She had mentioned that she had been working with QVC on doing her own clothing line. That could have been a lie too, though, because she got a line problem. But I could see her working on, especially now, Stacey. I don't know if you've been holding meetings, and I said that you now more than ever you should definitely try and do your own clothing line because you have the relationship with them. I mean, people don't look to you for fashion, but still, you have the relationship with them, and you're on this big platform. It makes sense. It makes sense. But a weed line? Doja says that Stacey should have mentioned it to Wendy, though. Again, it really depends on how close they are. Because when you're wheeling and dealing, and this is a business advice to anyone else, even some of your closest friends, even some of my closest friends, I don't tell all my friends all the business deals that I'm securing until we're signed on the dotted line. Please understand, you should not be either. Especially Wendy and Stacey are just work friends. They're not deep friends. They're not like best friends. They're probably getting to that place. I'm not telling you what I'm doing until we've signed on the dotted line. And if you're in a situation like this, even with your bestest friends, don't say anything until you've signed on the dotted line. Just some advice. But okay. Pageant Mommy says, I'm not buying anything any of them are selling. I mean, there is nothing. Okay, I bought a hat. I bought regular Robin's hat. I don't know where the hell that is. But I wore it. I wore it here on the channel before. I don't know where that is, though. It was a nice hat. There wasn't anything special about it, though. Keith, thank you so much for another super chat. You paying for dinner tonight, Keith. Thank you. I don't blame Stacey for reconnecting with her ex-husband. Because Keith, you remember if you were part of one of our dating lives, Keith reconnected with his old boo, too. And now they're happily ever after. You're welcome, Keith. He says, after TJ made her some frozen pizzas as a date, I would go back to my rich ex-husband, too. Honestly, did he lie? Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes when you break up with your ex and then you're out in these streets, you're like, oh, these streets are for the birds. This is not for me. This is not for me. So that could be it too. I don't know if she ever was any, especially with TJ saying that he didn't want to give her none. Again, that's if that relationship was even real. But yeah, Look, everyone's congratulating. Look, I'm just putting Keith's information out there. I mean, Keith called in and he shared this information. I'm just retelling the story. All right, let's move on. So Wendy wishes her the best in regards to the business, but she wanted to admit to Wendy that she was working on this on multiple different deals. So is it true what Giselle said that Stacey, that you were sort of like, I am like presenting yourself like you're this big deal, and that's how you were presenting yourself to it? They're coming after Stacey this entire season. I think if they decide to reshuffle what they're going to share this season and focus maybe on Karen coming home and Wendy's situation, it might save the season, because if they stay in the same direction where every single week is them beating up on Stacey, it's not going to be good for you guys. It's not. How would you guys rate this week's episode? I don't think this episode was that great, to be honest with you. It was okay. It was okay. I see you guys are rating, the majority of you are rating, 47% of you are rating in between 7 and 10. 4 to 6, 42% of you are rating it, and then 11% are rating it between 1 and 3. It wasn't a bad episode, but I'm like, it was okay. It was all right. So Giselle goes over Tia's home, and we've talked about Tia's home, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse, okay? She is also a mother of twins, but she has 2 older daughters. Her husband she's been with him nearly 20 years as well. He's from the south side of Chicago, and he grew up very differently than she did. She grew up, so again, we have to keep in mind, production is encouraging her to talk about how she lived a lavish lifestyle, how she grew up. But don't seem like she's living like that now, which is okay. But in her mind, that's how she grew up. So she's like, I could not be chauffeuring those kids around. So he's like the nanny. This is what Giselle says. So he's like the nanny, and she's like, yes, yes, he's like the nanny. And look, that's how she grew up. So it wouldn't shock me that he probably treats her like a princess too in the home. He likes it. I love it for him. But yeah, so we get to know a little bit more about Tia in this moment, and she says she doesn't do errands. Okay, she doesn't do errands, and we get to learn a little bit more about her husband. He's sort of in sales and acquisitions for an aeronautical company or something like that. So he's like a nerd. And then she's like, "Oh, we should hook you up with Wendy's husband." And she's like, "This is not the paid for husband, right? This is the real husband." She's got jokes. Okay. Amy says, "Or he's being a dad." Yeah. Well, that's hard for Giselle to understand. You got to remember where this information's coming from when people make certain comments. She basically was a single mother. Yes, he probably was paying for things, but he's in Atlanta, she's in the DMV, and he cheated on her so bad. Come on. You've never had anyone humiliate you, Giselle? Stacey said that to her last week. I said, girl, Stacey just killing them with kindness, man, and it's just taking them out. Speaking of taking them out, Ashley. So I didn't realize that Ashley's sister, she referred to her as a half-sister. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you both share the same mother, isn't that just your sister? And you just have different fathers? She referred to her sister as her half-sister. I don't know if she just did that to explain that they have different fathers. That's your sister. Okay? So she's getting ready for her date. She's going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and she's getting dressed up, and she's playing this relationship up with Josh, and she talked about some of the issues that she's had with him because she wanted to do Love Hotel, and he wasn't very happy about that. And here's the thing. I'm going to twerk on the fence with this because I see Ashley's point. Sidebar, I really don't care about these scenes with Ashley, but since it's there and you're here for the recap and you probably didn't watch the episode, I'm going to give it to you. I can see Ashley's point where she's not taking Josh Harlow seriously. She's used to dating older men. Josh Harlow seems like he's a little wet around the ears. You're going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and you saw how production Shady self zoomed in on his rundown sneakers. And I know in his head, he's like, yeah, but they're like cool casual sneakers. You're going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Sir, if you don't put on some heels... and they look dirty. I was like, okay. He got a little something in his hair. He got a little product in his hair. She was like, yeah, maybe not put any product in your hair. So she's also trying to change the man, but she's also not taking him very seriously because she's used to dating older men that usually tell her what to do. So Jessica doesn't like him either. She said he's a little too boyish for her. All right. They flash back to Wendy calling Josh Harlow, and that made me remind him, I was like, so is that your issue with Wendy? Is the fact that she called this man Josh Harlow? And I said, that's a compliment, girl, because she could have called him all kinds of other whack people, and she didn't. Okay. Seven, I caught that too when she says, yeah, I'm not going for the bipartisan thing. It's to celebrate the White House. No, it's not, girl. She don't even know what she's going there for. Okay, girl. But Ashley. But Josh didn't like the fact she did love hotel. So, like I said, I can kind of see where Ashley's coming from, because part of me is sort of like, okay, if you really were considering this person seriously, you really chose this opportunity to be on television over the relationship. But then part of me is sort of like, yeah, you should. You just got out of a divorce. You're not really trying to jump into another serious relationship. Yes, girl, go make your money. Go date up. You never know what that can turn into. And then I'll see you when I come back. I can't blame her for it, to be honest with you. At first, I was sort of like, well, you just chose you, because I'm thinking like real life. But I'm like, no, you just got out of a divorce. Yeah, go live your best life off this show so we don't have to watch it anymore. All right, so they go to the correspondence dinner to celebrate the White House. To celebrate that ballroom that they're building. All right. So Angel and the finest house husband that they have now on the network, Bobby, go for dinner. And we get to know a little bit more about their relationship. They met on Facebook. Apparently, he may have been in her DMs for like 4 years before she actually took him serious. And she said she didn't really date him because he was a football player, but she ended up becoming a wag. I didn't like the fact she referred to herself as a wag. I know it's something that the NFL ladies do. That's in that reality TV space. I just was like, no, don't refer to yourself as a wag, girl. But she is the wife of an NFL player, and he did very well for himself. And they lived a very lavish lifestyle while he was playing, but now he's retired. So she talks about the home, the nearly $2 million home that they had in Colorado that they won awards for. Then they show pictures of the home. I wonder if they still own it or did they sell it. It's a gorgeous home. Even the rental that they're in is really nice. Okay. So I was sort of like, okay, that's a gorgeous home. So they're renting right now because they want to buy something in Maryland. But they want acreage, and they're so used to having so much property in Colorado. And I don't know the real estate market in Colorado, if it's just you get more for your money there versus Maryland. Probably. But I don't know what part of Maryland that they're wanting to look or live, whatever it may be. Amy says that they still own the home. It's a beautiful home. Can we take a trip to Colorado? Did they take a trip to Colorado? That would have been a great trip. Come stay in my beautiful, lavish home in Colorado. See how we really live. But okay. So she's talking about the group. He's like, are they hazing you? And she's like, no. She's like, I might be a rookie to these girls, but I'm not rookie. I'm not a rookie woman. And I was like, I kind of like Angel's vibe. She's one to watch. Like, she's not a punk. Like Kay was trying to punk her about I chin checked her. Ooh, Kay, I'm looking at you sideways because you had a whole lot of mouth when it comes to Angel. And Angel was just like, what? Like, who you chin checking? And you backpedal. You're like, you backpedal real quick. Anyway, so moving on. Speaking of Giselle goes over to Keiarna's condo. The condo, gorgeous. Again, Keiarna, beautiful gowns, beautiful condo, Stewart. That's it. Okay. So they show us a little bit of the condo. Giselle comes in. She's hired a chef to cook for them. Kay said that Greg does come and stays there, but she likes having her own place. Again, Kay, you like it. We love it for you, just not for the show. Not interested in whatever this is going to be this season. We haven't even seen him. It's episode 2. We haven't even seen him. They're talking about him, but we haven't even seen him. So it will be interesting to see what that story will be, because obviously they're back together. But the condo is beautiful. That's all I got. The condo is beautiful. So they flash back to Kay must have had some sort of event that they didn't show besides the flashback. And Ashley was there, Tia was there, and Angel was there at Keiarna's spa. And she was talking about again, her issues with Wendy and what Wendy said to her about like, oh, did you do your own makeup? And even Tia was like, what does that mean? And Ash is like, you know what that means. So Wendy revealed that her kids had been sick, so she wasn't sure if she was going to go to this event, the NAACP event. And Angel gave her grace. She was sort of like, well, did you ask her how her kids were doing? And Tia chimes in. She's like, well, if she's in LA, the kids must be fine. Here's the thing. And I said this on Twitter because, and this was before I was even looking at the fact that Tia chimed in. Remember, Tia said the father is more like the nanny. And Tia grew up a certain type of way, okay? So keep that as a perspective. Keiarna doesn't have any kids. So I can respect that Angel has her own mind. She's good friends with Keiarna, but she's like, did you ask her about her kids? I'm thinking this is another mother seeing the perspective of Wendy, who is a mother that has a sick child. So in that moment, she says it to Keiarna, and Keiarna's just like, she's like, I'm gonna ignore that you just said that. So when she's retelling the story to Giselle, she reveals that she, quote, chin checked Angel. And I'm thinking to myself, chin check is like physical. And even Giselle's was like, you chin checked her? Like, what's that about? What do you mean you chin checked her? So that's what Kay said in this conversation to Giselle. So Giselle put it in her back pocket. She's like, I'm going to save that one for later. Okay. So Kay says also that she's like, she's not wasting any time getting Angel together. Excuse you? So she was talking big talk to Giselle. Big talk, not realizing that Giselle was going to run and tell that later on. Jessica says, I watched Kay and Angel on live. She's back in Colorado. Permanently or just at the home? I think she prefers Colorado. Based on how she described her life out there, and even her husband was saying that they like being outdoors and that experience and having the acreage and stuff like that. I think they prefer that. So they probably will keep that home and then maybe rent. I don't blame them, especially because you don't know if this show is going to work out. You're not sure if you want to stay in Maryland. I don't blame them. Don't sell your big, beautiful home that you invested and renovated and did all that work. Why? I mean, if you can afford it, if you can afford doing both, why not? Virgilian says they really think Giselle is their friend. I don't know why. Guys, we have nearly 1,000 likes. Let's get to 1,000 likes. But we have 2,500 of you watching on multiple platforms. Shout out to those of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and where else? I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Mary says we do not need another Mia. I mean, she's closer to being bicoastal than Mia was. Just saying. All right. So let's get to this Truth and Tranquility party hosted by Angel at her home. So I have a couple of things that I want to say here because, and I said this on X. Shout out to X. Hey X. I get it. It's become like a housewives shtick. Anytime they start doing anything that's woo-woo, like a sound bath or Reiki, or we're doing some sort of healing thing or psychic thing, I feel like we need to stop. It's 2025. So many of you have gone to a sound bath or experienced that. All these little, ooh, like, what is this? And Wendy like, she was like, I could do a sound bath in 2 minutes. Huh? Like, calm down with all of this like buffoonery when it comes to doing these things. I'm like, you guys act as if like this is not something that you haven't seen before. That hibiscus, whatever that, I mean, I probably would want it without the rum or whatever alcohol was in it. But that hibiscus tea looked good, and then she put a little bit of a little drop of, what did she put in there? She put a lemon balm in the hibiscus tea. That sounded good. That sounded real good. Wendy was the cutest dress out of all of them. I don't know what Giselle had on, but we don't expect Giselle to have much of anything. But now with the news of Wendy allegedly, yeah. This is why everyone was like, well, at least At least Giselle is not stealing in order to give us that. I'm like, okay. I don't even think it's about stealing. I think you could still get something that's inexpensive and just wear it. Like, you could literally recreate Wendy's outfit in an affordable way. Like, it doesn't have to be like the top brands. Just saying. Gina says the drink did look good, right? I do like a hibiscus tea. And ladies, hibiscus tea is very good for you, especially women. But I like a hibiscus tea. Do I have any hibiscus tea? I'm going to get me a hibiscus tea. Jamaki says hibiscus tea is delicious and so good for you. Sorrel, yes. I don't like it with, I don't want the alcohol one though. Deborah says that Giselle was wearing GNA. No, GNA is non-existent, guys. GNA is now a figment of our imagination. There's nothing to buy. Okay. Forever Tyranny says that Wendy became all about the labels. Keith says you can pick up Wendy's outfit at Lululemon, but don't. We don't support Lululemon over here. Okay. Your agent Keela, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Keela says Tia and Angel might be the best newbies we've seen. Time will tell you. No, we're not on anybody's team over. Oh yeah. I want to wait and see. I like them so far. There's nothing, like, they're not trying too hard, which I can appreciate. Keiarna, who's been on the cast full-time since last season, but she's been on the cast, it's giving like try hard. And I don't like that for her because there's so many other good things about Keiarna. Beautiful face, has her own business, beautiful apartment, great, beautiful family. But the lackluster relationship, now trying so hard with this situation with Wendy, I'm like, So, Tia admits to having a swig while she was pregnant with her first kid. A swig of alcohol. She first tried to pretend she's like, oh, I don't drink. I don't like loud music. But she does. She likes all of it. And she admitted that when she was pregnant, she had a little bit of a swig of something. Okay. So she admits that. I'm liking Tia. Like that British humor will get me. Like, I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you, Tia. Maybe. So Giselle admits what we already knew about her, because she doesn't know about this truth and tranquility party. She's like, I don't like truth and tranquility. I like lies and foolishness. That is the most honest thing that's ever been said on Real Housewives of Potomac. She says, I like lies and foolishness. So Giselle is in producer mode. She asked Kay and Wendy where they're at in their relationship. Kay in her confession is like, Wendy's being passive aggressive. She's like, I think we made some leeway, but she's being passive aggressive. Wendy in her confession, she's like, I'm at peace, and Keiarna's in pieces. I saw someone on X says that might be the reverse now for Wendy. Just saying. Okay. Nikki, I thought about Jazzy this episode too. Nikki says, I thought Jazzy was coming back. With the Wendy of it all, do you think they will nix her wedding? Because the cameras were up at her wedding. She's a friend of again this season. Is she? Did we see a friend of photo for her? I can't remember. Did we see a friend of photo for her? Damn, Jazzy did all of that at the reunion for them to take out your wedding. Okay. And apparently there is some sort of squabble that happens between Stacey and Jazzy as well this season. And they were close, because if you came to our live show, but you see, Stacey, you fell out with a lot of people. They were close, because she even talked to Jazzy. She's like, Jazzy's my girl. I even invited her to come to my live show. I didn't invite her. Stacey invited her to come to the live show. But apparently they had a falling out. Elsington says, I like Jazzy. Did she get married in Colorado? I don't know where she got married. Didn't she? Wasn't he in Texas? I don't even know where. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they show it or not. All right. So Giselle asked them where they're at in their relationship, Keiarna and Wendy, and they're like, everything's good. And then Giselle brings up, so where are you? Are you and Angel okay? And Angel's like, why wouldn't we be okay? So Giselle brings up the chin check comment, and they were like, and then Kay's like, don't do that. Don't do that. I never said that. Only for Giselle later on, like a few minutes later, she's like, you did say that. She's like, did I say that? So she's like, I'll admit that. I'll admit it. So just like, I want you to know I'm telling the truth. Kay has something to say to you. So that's when Kay admits, oh, I did say chin check. But it seems like they're a united front. They're not going to allow these women to pull them apart. Because Kay backpedaled real quick. She's like, I never said chin check. What are you doing? You're being messy. You definitely said chin check, and you said a little bit more. And I'm sure you probably said even more than that, and they never showed it. Just saying. Okay. So they quickly resolve that stuff. So Ashley then decides to bring up Stacey's breath because Angel provided a little bowl of breath mints so everyone can have fresh breath. I mean, you should do that regardless. I mean, when you're serving food someplace, she's serving salmon and stuff like that. Salmon sounds good. Fresh breath for everyone. But Ashley puts it upon herself. She'll be like, Stacey, your breath has been on the hot side. And a lot of people were reacting to the game that Watch What Happens Live played in regards to Stacey's breath, and they're saying that was just mean at this particular point because we haven't seen them do that with anyone else. I brought up the example, Lisa Vanderpump. They were talking about her hot breath. We haven't seen a game about that. So Ashley brings up Stacey's breath. What I love about Stacey is that she's not letting these women see her sweat. Stacey just is like, well, let me take a mint then. Stacey, kudos to you. You're not letting them see you sweat. Stacey said, well, let me take a breath mint then. Same. If you tell me first of all, I wouldn't like it if someone told me that my breath stank constantly. That they keep bringing it up, but I would make sure every time Stacey, I would have taken like 4 of them. But she might have a condition. Here's the thing. I don't know. Again, I was this far from Stacey. Like, she was right beside me on stage. I didn't smell anything. However, I did tell you someone later on that night told me something about the breath. But again, that was not my experience. Okay. NYCDMP says, someone get Kempire some smoked salmon and hibiscus tea with fresh lemon, please. That sounds so good right now. There was a spot like in Soho when I used to work around there years ago, and it was a Spanish spot where you could get salmon with some like yellow rice with beans. Oh my God, I could go for that right now. Yum. Okay. Technically, I've been up, guys. I don't know what time it is. What time is it in Amsterdam right now? 11:30. I've been up since 5 a.m. their time. So whatever time that is in the States, I don't know what time it is. So I've been up a long time. Okay. So it's starting to hit me. So I am going to get to the callers in just a second. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's get to 1,200 likes. All right. Keep liking the video if you haven't already. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys on the community tab. I still have more to talk about when it comes to this episode. Live chat, and those of you watching on Twitch, let me know how you would rate this week's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Special K's watching on Twitter. She says, so much better watching on Twitter. No commercials. Well, that's not good for me. How do y'all think we pay the bills? Ads, y'all. ads. Someone said, do you cook? I do, but I don't want to cook tonight. I do not want to cook tonight. I'm tired. I don't want to be doing nothing right about now. But it's okay. It's all right. Alma says, do you drink coffee? I was going to drink some coffee, but now it's like, oh, I feel fine. But now I'm starting to feel it. But I'm not going to drink coffee now because it's almost bedtime. I can just go to bed at like 10 or something. Amani says, Kempire is working overtime, right? Miss Melvin says, salmon is to me. I like salmon. That's probably like one of the only fish that I'll eat. Some other fish, but mostly salmon. Salmon's very good for you too. Just saying. Anyway, okay, why are we digressing? Okay. All right. So Stacey says, let me get a mint then. So they do the sound bath. And again, their reaction to me, I was like, you guys need to. What I loved about the whole Sinners movie, it reminded us as a culture, especially Black people, our roots, and that Christianity basically was forced on us, forced out of our spirituality that we had in the motherland. And so I'm always thinking of that. And that's why if you go to Portugal, you should definitely do the Black History Tour. It's like the big popular one. If you're going to Portugal, you should definitely do it. Do that before you do any other tour. It's because it's really groundbreaking. And that stood out to me. That, you know, how Christianity was forced on us basically. And that's why we as a people feel so like woo about astrology or spirituality. That was forced on us because of slavery. But anyway, I've digressed. So Wendy says, can we wrap this up? She's like, I gotta do a sound bath in 2 minutes. No, Wendy, I'm sure right now you could use a nice sound bath to calm your nerves. And didn't they go to the salt caves? Like, y'all do a bunch of woo-woo stuff. Like, stop. I get it. You know, they like to do these theatrics for the housewives stuff, but now it's just becoming like, guys, it's 2025. Jalen says, I thought the breath segment on Watch What Happens Live was kind of corny. There's a lot of stuff on Watch What Happens Live that's corny. Like all those games. Sometimes I'm like, can we just get to the tea? A lot of these stupid games that you guys constantly want to play, it forces like when you're getting somewhere with the conversation or you're getting to the tea about something that like, oh, well, let's play a game. I'm like, can we get to the? But okay, y'all love it. Fine, y'all keep watching it. That's why those ratings are what they are. Then Angel does the fire circle. She says she does this all the time because you know she has her wilderness store. I know it's not a wilderness store, Angel, but I think it's funny. It's like you and Bobby. Y'all got y'all wilderness store. That's what it reminds me of. I know it's not a wilderness store. You guys are far more successful, but it's y'all wilderness store. And if you're of a particular age, you know what I'm talking about. Cosby Show, okay? Sandra and Elvin. So Stacey, as everyone's doing, you know, being a part of the fire circle, Stacey says, "Can we all do like a deep breath and start anew?" So she invites them to stand up and then do a go down and then come up and go something, whatever. Okay. So and then Stacey, another classic line. She says, "It's unbelievable how I'm able to just save the day here with my goddess breath." What is wrong with her? Okay. She says, it's unbelievable how I'm able to just save the day with my goddess breath. She's ridiculous. Okay. So Stacey pulls Ashley aside because she wants to show her proof that she in fact did get a divorce. But what she shows her, it was, I guess, the notification that she got divorced. But here's the thing. Giselle's like, I've been divorced before. I know, you know, it looks like everyone else's divorce papers. It's not even notarized. First of all, she does not need to show you guys a damn thing in regards to her divorce. I would not be showing you guys my divorce documents either. I would not, because God only knows what else might be on there. And you know, Stacey's real name might be on there. Oh no. I'm just like, y'all don't. She didn't even need to do that. She didn't need to do that. So Giselle's like, that just don't improve anything. Those documents are made up. Okay. I'm like, all right. All right. So we have our final scene. Our final scene is Giselle, Keiarna, and Ashley meeting up with Cookie, Karen's best friend. Okay. So they flash back to all the birthdays that they ruined for Karen. Okay. So Cookie reveals when she sits down with her big bazookas, she's a character. She's a character. She's definitely a character, Cookie. Okay. So Cookie comes in, and they zoom in on her breasts. Okay. Ashley makes her comments about them, because Ashley likes to just be inappropriate. They flash back through all of the birthdays that they ruined for Karen. They ask about, how's Karen doing? Is she in like an alcohol anonymous program in the jail? And she's like, yeah, very similar. If you go in for like drugs, they have something similar to that. She says Karen's reading a lot of books and exercising a lot. The women there love her. All right. And then Cookie texts like, oh, I got a text from Chris Samuels. And that was the cue for Ashley to be like, oh, guys, guess what? Stacey was trying to get with Chris Samuels. What? Stacey apparently asked Ashley, conveniently, another one of Ashley's friends at the party says, she asked me to introduce her to Chris Samuels. Ashley does admit she doesn't know when this happened. It seems like it may have happened before she decided to get back with her ex-husband. Do you see why people are getting annoyed with this cast? It's because they keep trying to find something on Stacey. If it's not about the TJ of it all, it's a lawsuit. Her breath stink. She's back with her ex. She lied about it. It's about the week. It's like you guys are harping on her. Like, okay, harp on one thing. Now it's every little thing. So now they're claiming that Stacey was trying to get with Chris Samuels. Well, he's an eligible bachelor about town in the area. And Stacey's like, I need to get with a man with money and means. I can't do another TJ who's asking for 50% of my check. Okay. So that you see now, Ashley is the one behind this apparent rumor. Oh, Stacey was trying to get with Chris. Well, he's single, she's single. What's the problem? What's the problem? Who cares? She don't know Monique. Who cares? Sidebar, on Watch What Happens Live, they were talking about Shannon possibly dating Phil, the guy that Giselle chose on Love Hotel. And Ashley believes that Shannon may have done something with Phil. Jeff's like, no, she definitely didn't. But Ashley's like, well, she did. She's hanging out with him. It's girl code. Giselle don't want that man. Giselle doesn't want that man. Giselle only did that show for the check. Stop it. Thank you, Monica. Monica says, you definitely look Ibu. Cute. Really? I gotta go find my people. I'm going to Nigeria. Where my people at? Okay. All right. So that's how the episode ends. And then they flash to when Monique makes an appearance. I'm assuming this is next week's episode. So that's when that makes sense because that was in June for Pride Month. So that makes sense that they were in the month of May for, I don't know, there might be an episode or two before Monique comes because they're talking about Karen's birthday, which is in May, and then they're talking about the Pride, which is in June. So who knows? But they flashed this to show us Monique. They keep telling us that Monique, we're gonna see a different side of Monique this season. So I'm going to keep an open mind. But if you watch Love and Marriage DC, I know a lot of us are coming in with like, oh, here she go. Don't be calling me a scammer. Leave me and my people alone, Fifi. Oh, hold on, Jessica's Kempire. I told you to come to my Ibu wedding last year. Did you? I didn't get the invite. Don't we say you invited me somewhere and I didn't get a paper invite. Okay? All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. I have been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 40 minutes. But we had some news that we talked about at the top, of course, with Wendy being charged with fraud and Andy Cohen reacting to that. I also had to share some of what I thought in regards to the cast response to this. But yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast as well. Let's see. I got my timer finally. Oh, we got a long line of members backstage. Once we get to 1,200 likes, I'll drop the call link for you guys. Members, please drop out once you share your opinion as well. The opinions of the calls do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors, and everything that they say is alleged in their opinion. Actually, let me put up my disclaimer. Where is my disclaimer? There we go. All right. I'm going to start. Okay. Everyone that's calling in, you get 30 seconds because we have a lot of people that are calling in. And I understand it. This is probably one of our biggest recaps. And with all the Wendy of it all, a lot of people feel away. Okay. And they want to share their thoughts and their opinions. Okay. All right. Let me bring up Taurus with the T first. Hold on. Taurus with the T, what did you want to share? Taurus with the T? I can't hear you. I can hear you, Taurus with the T. I see you there, but I don't see any movement in your mic. Okay, hold on. You're coming back up. Let me try and bring you up here. Taurus with the T, are you there?
Hey, Cam, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, if I have bad connection, I'm taking like a midnight walk, but I just want to be
T-Mobile.
very quick. Oh, Lord.
Go ahead. Hello. That T-Mobile. That T-Mobile gets you every time. Call back in. Let me go to L next. Let's see what L got. L, my bell.
Hi, Kempire Mod and Chat. On this episode of Karen is Not Present in Them, I just wanted to say that with Wendy, what I notice is it seems like if somebody has a connection to her past, she doesn't see it for them. So that's why with Tia, she was like really cool. But when she went to Angel's house, because Angel went to Temple, she had nothing positive to say. That's why I don't think she liked the sound bath. And I think she said the drink was ghetto. So I think that's a part of it. Anybody who might know a little bit of her history. And I just want to say, as someone who grew up here in the DMV, Potomac is a common term here. So Potomac Mills Mall is nowhere near Potomac, Maryland. A lot of things are called Potomac.
Really?
And the tribe that it's named after, the Potomac tribe, is from Virginia.
Oh, damn. Thank you for that, L.
You're welcome.
Take care. All right. Hold on, y'all. My earpiece is coming out. The DMV is an interesting area. Let me tell you about it. Right, DMV? Tyler's backstage. Tyler, what did you want to share?
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know why I can't hear you, but I'm just going to make my statement. I'll say this quickly. I want Stacey to go get an allergies test because apparently she's allergic to good wigs. They have no part, no plucking, no nothing. I'm over it. I will say this, there's absolutely nothing Ashley can do to make me like her. I don't care if they dress her up nicely and make her look like 2019 Doja Cat before the haircut. I don't care. She's always investing in someone else's business. I don't have time for her. I like Giselle a little bit. I'm still watching her. I'm shocked she wasn't the one being shady about Wendy. I took the liberty of listening to the podcast today. She really didn't say much bad. Robin kind of threw a little shade, but it's not that bad.
Time's up.
Oh.
Thanks, Tyler. I had to drop you, Tyler, because you can't hear me, so I had to drop you. All right. Miss Sharon's backstage. Miss Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing? Glad to see you back. Who is it? The people treated you right. Let you land great. Yes. I'm glad to see you. I was wondering if he wasn't going to come back until the shutdown was over.
Oh God. Might be forever.
I enjoyed this. I'm enjoying Real House of Potomac because that's really now the only show I'm watching. I enjoyed it, but you can really tell that Karen is not there. You can really tell the show really isn't that good. It's not, it's kind of level. It's not a up. It's a level, but at least it's not down. But it's okay. But I really hope that Karen comes back. And you missed a big fight yesterday between Kansas City and the Detroit Lions. Talk to you later.
Oh, bye. Who won? All right. O'Shea's backstage. O'Shea, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. So I think that Wendy has gotten too much of grace, actually.
Oh.
And I feel scammed.
Oh.
Because now that we're looking back and seeing, Neka said the thing about her returning the clothes and Mia and them talked about the husband's job. Like, I was blinded by the whole thing. Maybe I was feeling too sorry for Wendy, but like, I never paid attention to that. And now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh, I want my money back because this is too much. And I invest a lot of time in you allegedly scamming. But yeah, thanks, Kempire. I hope you get some rest and that
Thanks, O'Shea. Bye. OMG. Malaysia's backstage. We're going to bring Malaysia up next. Malaysia, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So, I just wanted to say one thing about Keiarna. I hope that she is the last housewife to try to get in the good graces of Giselle. We saw how it worked out for Nneka, and she's not here anymore. And then, finally, with Wendy, I think she should take her own advice that she gave Stacey at the reunion. And also learn from Karen's mistake, acknowledge it, take responsibility, and learn from it. She has a lot of people that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Malaysia. I agree.
Sorry.
I agree with you. Thanks, Malaysia. Yeah, I agree. I think that would probably be, and I could see her doing it because that was her own advice to Karen. So I could see her doing it. I don't think Wendy can afford not to return. All right, Angel's backstage. We'll bring Angel up next. Angel, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hey, Kempire. Welcome back to our terrible country. I just wanted to say, okay, for Giselle and Ashley to be so hard on Stacey right now, they need to sit down because wherever Stacey's getting her wigs from, they copied suit this season and have the same terrible wigs. So please exit stage left and shut your mouth. And then for Wendy, the whole scene with her and Stacey, I'm wondering, oh my God, does Wendy have on body makeup? Is this outfit going back after this scene? So yeah, that's it. I'm just being messy.
Thanks, Angel. I think a lot of people are, especially now, this happening so early in the season. Now they're looking at all of the scenes and just picking them apart, especially with Wendy. So it will be interesting to see how the rest of the season will play out, and if they're going to make changes, or if they're going to keep everything in and then let this be the what they lead into for season 11. All right, Miss Esquire is backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share?
Hello, welcome back. I'm so
Thank you.
sorry that you returned. Condolences. What I will say is it is really rich to me that Ashley and Giselle have anything to say about Stacey's relationship when they both have had fake relationships. Ashley's marriage was barely real. It was basically gold plated, honey. Let's be serious. And Giselle has never had a man on this show that she was in a real relationship. Let's also be serious. Having said that, I will say Ashley really is a gutter snipe. I have never met somebody that I disliked more on reality TV because where is the grace? Where is the but for God go I in you? Like, where is the I am just not going to kick you down while you're down? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get her at all. Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss Esquire. Yeah, I don't, and I know there's a handful of you that like Ashley, which is fine. You're all welcome here. She's become so unlikable. I feel like every season, like in the last few seasons, she's become even more unlikable. But that's me. Alessia is backstage. Alessia, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Look, Ashley, like Ashley is trying so hard to be iconic, and she can. Like, she needs to be quiet. First of all, she was like, "Oh, like, let's make melodies and not felonies." Ashley, please spell melodies. I'm pretty sure she cannot spell melodies. So first of all, be quiet. Second thing, she's talking about her like she's talking about like she was like holier than now. Do we forget that her husband, like literally, that is like a mix of like Weinstein and Crocodile Dundee version. Like he was like touching people, grooming people, like, and she was quiet. Why cannot she be quiet at this point? And like kicking people, sorry, kicking people like when they are at their lowest, like is absolutely. And also like that breath thing is such a mean girl thing. I mean, like it's not funny. It's really not funny. And Bravo need to stop normalizing such like bad thing about like it's bullying. It's really hard to watch. I mean, I feel bad for Stacey, but Stacey is funny, so okay. I mean, if she can take it, fine. I mean, if it was me, it would end up pretty. But okay,
Thanks,
bye, Kempire.
Alessia. Bye. I think what it is, I think the breath thing probably would be okay if it wasn't like a pylon. It's like, okay, it's this, and this, and now it's the breath thing, and now you're making a game of it. They do all kinds of immature, mean girl stuff all the time, and y'all laugh about it. April Aries is backstage. We're going to bring her up next. April Aries, what did you want to share?
Good evening, Kempire. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I need Megamind, aka Forehead, Miss Ashley Darby, to sit in the corner, turn around, and mind your business. Your whole marriage was a sham. The same thing for aka Miss Jizzy. You need to have several seats. And one thing that people love is an underdog, and that's what they're going to do with Stacey. They're going to propel her to a fan favorite, especially if she could capitalize and make a bag. It's like, okay, breast miss, I'm giving them for you, and for Jizzy, I'm going to help you get a man. How about that? Enjoy the rest of your evening, Kempire.
Thanks,
Have a
April.
good day.
April did it perfect timing. Okay. I did drop the call link for members on the post tab, and I did drop it in the live chat. I won't be dropping it again because we do have a line backstage. I do want to say thank you, Taurus with the T, for the super chat. Taurus with the T says, I'm up in the mountains. The mountains of the Bronx. But Wendy was annoying me this episode with her negative energy. Stacey needs to keep paying Ashley and her chest airbags dust. Damn. Thank you so much for the super chat, Taurus and for being a member. We've got Sharon backstage. We're going to bring Sharon up next. Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. It was so nice to meet you at your Atlanta show.
Yes. What's going on?
It's going good. Keiarna's stock just continues to crash. It's plummeting. Like, I'm so glad Giselle was not completely useless this episode and actually told Angel what she said, clocked her tea immediately. I am loving this girl. I'm starting to see why Keiarna might be staying with Greg. She seems to think undying loyalty, no matter how you treat somebody, is a thing. And I like that Angel's like, no, I'm your friend, but I'm not just a follower. I'll say what needs to be said.
Yep.
And lastly, I will take 3 lying Staceys, 2 fraudulent Wendy's, and 1 DUI Karen over Ashley any day. Tired of it. Bye, Kempire.
Bye, Sharon. Damn. Do you guys agree with that? Ooh. I definitely would take a Karen. I'll definitely take a Karen. I like Stacey too, though. Okay. Nicole's backstage. We're going to bring Nicole up next. Nicole, what do you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. Welcome back to our crap hole country.
Y'all don't got to keep reminding me.
But I want to say, I was looking at the Wendy situation totally different with how all these women are coming at her. Is because my mother is a retired U.S. diplomat. I grew up in the Foreign Service. My father is West African. He's from Burkina Faso, and my mother is Southern Black American. So I was raised on both continents. So I'm looking at it from a different angle. And why I'm disgusted by it is because it's like, why are Black American women and African women always going against each other? I feel like there's an underlying issue that's there. I think that's one reason why they never liked Wendy, because she came in busting through the doors, talking about her degrees, things like that. But the thing is, there is something where there needs to be a conversation really spoken about this, where as Black women all around the world, we're all going through the same things, even though culturally there may be things a little bit deeper than others.
Yeah.
But I really believe that is the reason why you're seeing a lot of Black American women coming at her unnecessarily. Like, just, we know she's wrong. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but just uplift the queen during this point in time. It just seemed like they were just waiting for this
Well, at
moment
least till we hear her
for her
side.
downfall.
At least till we hear her side. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Nicole.
Okay.
All right. I did want to mention, speaking of uplifting, you know who has Wendy's back? Katie Roast. Katie Roast went on social media, mind you. This was morning time in the Netherlands. So this was probably like, I don't know what time it was your time here in the States. So Katie reposted this post. Welcome back, Mama Sheila, from Mary Cosby fan page on X. Katie reposted and says, Ashley and I love each other. There is no beef. Okay, wait, who said that there was beef? But okay. She says, but she has no couth. I gotta throw a flag. My magical vagina, that she told details about. She told Annie Cohen I had a hamster on national TV. She ate it, so I guess she would know. She is just a hater. We love you, Wendy. Oh, so I guess this was her defense of Wendy. I think Wendy probably would have been happy that you didn't defend her. But yeah, that's what Katie Rose had to say at like 2 a.m. Okay. We wish Katie the best. This is why I keep telling you guys, you keep asking for Katie to come back on the show. No. Katie is not ready. All right, let me bring up Chrissy. It's already getting late and it's a long line. Chrissy, what's going on? What did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. Yeah, I'm also sick of the pylon about what's her name?
Stacey.
Stacey, sorry. Stacey's breath. I just like if you guys are really like it's really bothering you. After the second time, I would have like pulled her to the side and been like, hey, girl, there's something going on. It's like if it really because I can't stand bad smells. So I would have said something. I'm not gonna be a bully about it because I really would be worried. Like, what's going on?
What in the
You know?
halitosis?
Yeah. And then also with the Wendy situation, I keep shaking my head all the time because I'm a claims adjuster.
Oh.
And it was just so like I don't want to go over it, but I want to explain. I did want to explain why they paid her out, even though they knew she was scamming.
Go ahead. I'll give you extra time.
And so usually with insurance companies in like this, most states, insurance companies have a cutoff time for them to make a decision on your claim.
Okay.
Okay. And once they make a decision, they also have to pay you out. They also have a time frame to pay you out.
Okay.
So they're not reported to the Department of Insurance or accused of bad faith. Usually in the court of law, the courts usually take the side of the insured because it's the big bad insurance. So for them to not pay you for if they're accusing you of fraud, they have to have solid proof. Okay, very strong evidence so that Wendy doesn't come with her husband to sue them and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why now they already knew she was scamming. They just was like, we're gonna save our behinds, but we're gonna come back for our money. And so it's very serious. It's a very serious situation.
Yeah.
They are gonna see it what they can do. That's a lot of money. Okay. And for them to claim that amount, they should have known that they were gonna when it's a high amount, us claim adjusters ourselves cannot pay for that. We would have to send that over to management and they will review it. So that's all I wanted to add.
Oh, thank you so much, Chrissy. Chrissy, keep us posted too. As this goes on, feel free to call back in and let us know. All right. Sierra's backstage. We'll bring Sarah up next. Sierra, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect timing because my Uber Eats is on the way. The only thing I wanted to say was these Geminis, and I only know because my mother's a Gemini, are having a terrible year. Because my mom was working my nerves too. 5-head Ashley, that Bigfoot raggedy, Wendy, you scamming, and you disappoint me, Wendy. You done disappointed me. These Geminis are gonna have a terrible 2026 too. So, and last thing I just want to say really quick. I think these housewives have a personality disorder. I'm not gonna lie, because Wendy, there's no reason for you to be as smart and as degreed as you are to do something so stupid. It's sad. You have to have some personality insecure. It's weird. That's it.
Thank you so
Geminis,
much.
y'all are done. Scorpios forever. Scorpios rise.
Bye, Sierra. That, please understand when people call in and share their opinions, it's not my opinion, Geminis, because then y'all gonna come for me like, oh, the Gemini slander. I don't think she lying though. Cookie's backstage. We're gonna bring Cookie up next. Not the Cookie. Cookie with a K. What's going on,
Cookie with
Cookie?
a K here. I just want to say that I'm loving Stacey. Don't like Ashley. Have never liked Ashley. Ashley is not digestible, and neither is Wendy. But Wendy makes me want to like her because I don't think she even likes herself. I see a lot of
Mm.
insecurity in her,
Mm.
and I saw that from the day she came on the show. And I
Yeah.
really, really wanted to like her, but she disappoints me often. Ashley has never made me happy. I'm missing my girl Karen. I see this is sinking. I'm with Salt Lake City right now because this is sinking real bad. And I'm just going to keep Wendy in my prayers because her issues go beyond what she's going through right now. I can just
Mm.
tell her. And I just want to uplift her and keep on with the show.
Amen. Thank you so much, Cookie. You guys are y'all are so bad at Sierra right now. All right, move on. Let me bring Amy up. Amy, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Okay, so I'm a fly in the buttermilk. I like Ashley. I
Okay.
like Stacey. I'm okay with Karen. Wendy, I always felt like justice for NECA because I felt like she gave her a hard time. Even though NECA was playing into the Green Eye Bandits, I feel like she could have like took her hand and like walked her through the thing, but she didn't like her. I get it. But ultimately this season, y'all, as much as y'all hate Ashley, listen, we gotta talk about somebody. Isn't she the right one to do it? She's messy. So I know she's non-likable, but she's come a long way from being like bratty and how she was with the girls in the beginning. That's all I'm saying. I love Stacey. However, people make fun of her. She is a liar, but she's a good liar, if that makes sense.
Is she?
She's a good liar. It's like I love her lies because they entertain me. They give me little kikis.
Yeah.
And then when people catch her in it, it's like, are you really gonna hold this person accountable for lying about something that stupid? It's not that bad. I mean, I just think she's funny. I'm sorry.
When
I
you
like
catch her in a
everybody in this
lie,
season.
she's like, "What are you talking about?"
That's the kiki. Cause you be like, girl, why are you doing? I think that's what makes them mad and they bully her for it. But it's funny to me. She's kind of like a younger Karen. Karen used to lie like that too. And we still like
Still,
Karen.
I mean, here's the thing. Karen was lying like that last season, so
Okay, it's a good Kiki lie. You
no,
know
that
they're
wasn't a good
lying,
Kiki
but
lie. That was a DUI
oh
lie.
no, that was something different. That's totally different. But when she used to be like
Yeah.
Red's a billionaire
Mm-hmm.
and she had like those really bad like kitchen table countertops, that was funny to me. I feel like Stacey is the new young Karen. She lies about stuff that we know she lied about and she pretends that she's not lying. It's funny.
Okay. Thanks, Amy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Audrey's backstage. We're gonna bring Audrey up next. Audrey, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire, and welcome back. Your
Thank you.
travels look so much fun. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Just really quickly, I'm gonna make it short but sweet. So I was watching it yesterday, and I just want to say, I think this is the thing with Keiarna. I think she misses a level of sophistication. It is event, not event. It is event, not event. It drives me nuts. And so I just think she just seems a little insecure. And I miss when our housewives had that level of sophistication. Just want to say that real quickly also. I was so distracted when I was anytime homegirl was on camera because I was looking at her house and I'm looking at what she's wearing, so I'm glad that they're picking back up the cameras. Shout out to the editors because they got a lot of work to do because now they got to edit all that stuff back into the season. I think you're right. I think they should kind of like scrap the season and then kind of just start with this because this is what people want to see. This is what people are talking about. So that's my 2 cents. Again, thank you for letting me speak and have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Audrey. Take care. All right. We're going to get to some more calls. We still have a line backstage. So let me bring up Nota Queen. And next, Nota Queen, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. Sorry it's loud. I just put my steak on the stove.
Mm.
But I just wanted to say, I think that it's okay to be shady towards Wendy, but also we need to be clear. Ashley, you do not make melodies. You are defrauding the public by saying that. So I need you to chill on that. I want her to chill on Stacey because it took you 7 business leap years to get divorced from that man. But now you're all up on Stacey. She just got here last week. You don't need her divorce paperwork. It's how long did it take you to produce yours? Leave that lady alone. They're doing the same thing they did to Drew, and they're going to bully her into a bag. But that's all I have to say. Welcome back.
Thank you, Nota Queen. All right. Omar's backstage. We're going to bring Omar next. Omar, what did you want to share?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I can kind of in a way forgive Karen for what she did for the DUI. She did something wrong. However, in comparison to Wendy, she deliberately committed fraud. And I'm very confused. Why is she in so much debt? None of her businesses were successful.
Well, remember college loans and stuff?
Okay, I have a doctorate as well, and I paid for that up
Oh,
front. And I have a house.
she's got 3 kids.
I have a dog. That's all. Happy Monday.
Thanks, Omar. No, I mean, look, there's a lot of I wish I had the TikTok. Someone tagged me in a TikTok where this woman really she explains she's not excusing Wendy's behavior, but she explains African culture and how that might be part of why Wendy and Eddie were in the predicament that they were in. But we'll talk about that on another day. Gary's backstage. We're going to bring Gary up next. Gary, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode?
What's up? So I have 3 quick things. One, I love Stacey, but I'm disappointed because I would have thought she would have course corrected and stopped with the lies after being caught in the big lie last year. But I'm not enjoying the pile on when it comes to her. Let the girl breathe, even if that means you have to take a step while she does so. Second, I find it interesting, and I'm looking at y'all fandom for the perception you have of Keiarna now that she's not on Team Wendy and she dares to challenge Wendy. It seems like the fan perception of her is changing, and I'm kind of like looking at that. And also, I'm happy to see Monique back. I hope she actually interacts with the girls, and I'm happy we're past the days of them being so split up where they couldn't even coexist. That's it.
Thanks, Gary. I will say this. I don't think my opinion of Keiarna has ever changed. I think I've said the same thing about Keiarna consistently. I'm surprised she came back this season, to be honest. All right. Keith will be last, but definitely not least. Keith, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Potomac?
Kempire.
What's going on?
Hey, you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. I don't know why I can't hear you, but just let me just do some signal if I over the 30 seconds, okay? But anyways, I wanted to say that one with the whole Stacey breath situation, I feel like it's kind of juvenile in my opinion because like if they really had an issue with her breath, they should have said it the first season. Personally, I feel like what a lot of these housewives do, they're definitely watching your show, and I feel like they probably picked up on what you said what was happening on your After Dark tour, and they're using that as a storyline. Because if they had an issue, they should have said it last year. I mean, Stacey didn't pop up the first episode of this season with stink breath. So I definitely think they are definitely watching your show and taking notes. They're listening to the viewers and writing down what we say as reads, I'm sure. But also, one last thing. Stacey got divorced in DC. That's probably why Ashley couldn't find it. All I did was a simple Google search and typed in Stacey Rush divorce DC, and I found it. So Ashley, I advise you to spend more than 5 seconds to look for any type of receipts if you're going to bring this on national television, because now you just look silly. But yeah, that's about it.
Send me the screenshots. Send me the screenshots.
I got you. I see it right now.
Thank you. See, that's all you had. I had a feeling because she kept on saying she looked up in the state of Virginia. Did we know whether or not Stacey got her divorce in the state of Virginia? Apparently, Keith looked it up in D.C., and here we are. So she get a divorce. Vindication is Stacey's. Vindication is Stacey's. Okay? Ariana says that is journalism. Right? I'm surprised no one else looked it up. Lord have mercy. So she didn't lie. She is vindicated. Stacey is vindicated. Vindicated. I guess. All right, final thoughts on this week's episode. If I had to rate this week's episode, I'm going to give it a 6. I thought it was okay. It's definitely feeling like they're missing Karen, and that was an important thing, which says to me, the pressure that Karen said in her letter to the court that she felt from the show. Now I understand why she felt the pressure, because now without her, the show isn't what what it normally is. I don't think one person makes a show, but she definitely is a very important element that's missing. It wasn't a bad episode. I'm enjoying the newbies, Tia and Angel. I definitely think they have potential. Stacey, though, really is standing out, and they hate that. They hate when there's a housewife that becomes a fan fave. The other housewives get in their feelings about it, and then they try to take you down. Ashley can go. If y'all want to keep Giselle, fine, keep Giselle. But Ashley really can go. I don't care about Ashley singing. I don't need to see Ashley dressing up as a man. I don't need to go to another Ashley weirdo party where she's gotten women randomly just stripping. Well, like what was the point of this? But okay. Whatever. We're going to continue to watch and recap and report. If you missed any of our coverage of the Wendy Acefo story, be sure to check that out. You can see full updates here on the channel. We've had quite a few updates in regards to that since Friday's breaking news. You can also hear our live episodes and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Be sure to subscribe today on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget to give us a 5-star review on those platforms because that does matter. And if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And there's multitudes of ways that you can support the channel. Check out the description if you're watching on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also buy merch for yourself. We have our Are You Okay merch, our Kempire After Dark Villain Era Tour merch is available, and so many other merch is available. And of course, shout out to those of you that send in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps. All of that helps us continue to elevate what we do here. I'm back in the studio, so I got to be back on the grind because I was spending up the money in Europe, in the Europe cities. All right. Thank you to our King Scars. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. And those of you watching in the bushes, including the housewives. Hey, housewives, keep watching. And production, we see you. Production admitted that I've seen quite a few people from Truly Original, and they've told me that they watch, so they know who I is. Hey, y'all. All right. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for being here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you later this week for our Salt Lake City recap, our Miami recap, our final Miami recap. And I still owe you an Orange County recap. I probably will just recap the 2 episodes in one. All right? Right. Thank you all for being here. See you all later. Bye, y'all. Here we go now.